Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? This is Professor Jason, your guide to Spanish. And in today's quick video lesson topic, what I want to cover are the polite or the formal commands in Spanish. In other words, those commands that are addressed in the usted or ustedes form. And this is going to require us to take a look back or to review the present subjunctive forms. So here we go. Okay, now polite commands in Spanish. Here we're talking about polite commands when you're trying to be nice, basically. Both affirmative, for example, do that, or negative, use the formal second person singular and plural. What do I mean by that? Second person singular and plural formal are usted or ustedes, okay? As opposed to the informal forms, right? Tú and vosotros. Okay, so that's what I mean by polite commands. And those forms are made using the subjunctive mood. Now, just to review, let's take a look at how we form the present subjunctive. Okay, the present subjunctive. Now, we always start with the yo form of whatever verb we're using. Okay, always start with the yo form. The reason that is because many verbs are irregular in the yo form, and those irregularities are preserved in the subjunctive forms used for the polite commands. So we have an AR verb like hablar, an ER verb like comer, an AR verb like abrir. These all happen to be regular, right? Hablo, como, okay, como, abro, okay. But what if you have a verb like hacer, whose first person form has an irregularity, right? Hago. Or another one, volver, to return, volver, has a stem change in the first person. Vuelvo. Or traer, for example, to bring. These are just examples. You're always going to start with the yo form in the present indicative. Traigo, okay, irregular stem. What we do is we start with this yo form, then we remove the o, the final vowel, and we add the following endings. For usted, it's going to be the opposite vowel. So if it's an AR verb, we add an E. If it's an ER or IR verb, we add an A. For ustedes, right, we simply, let me slide the whiteboard over, we simply make those plural by adding EN or AN. So that's just a review of the forms of the present subjunctive using usted and ustedes. Let's take a look at some examples. Say I wanted to say, speak more slowly, please, right? I'm going to say, hable más despacio. Hable más despacio. Again, this form is coming from the present subjunctive, which I'm conjugating in the present indicative of the yo form, removing that final O, and placing the opposite vowel, if it's an AR verb, an E, hable más despacio. That's if I'm speaking to one individual, right? If I'm speaking to a group or more than one individual, I'm just going to make it plural by saying hablen más despacio. Hablen más despacio. And you can make negative commands simply by adding no. No hablen, por ejemplo, no hablen inglés en la clase. No hablen inglés en la clase. And that's a polite command in the plural. Ustedes. Ustedes. Okay? How about an affirmative command in the plural? Like I'm talking to a bunch of kids at lunch and I might say, coman sus vegetales. Right? Coman sus vegetales. Again, this is the form in the present subjunctive for ustedes. Right? Coman comes from the yo form. Como, adding the plural opposite vowel ending for the present subjunctive. Coman sus vegetales. Okay? Or that's a negative command. I could have something positive like, or excuse me, that one was positive. I could have something negative like, no coman a esa torta. Don't eat that cake. No coman esa torta. Okay? How about an IR verb? Open the door, right? Abra la puerta. Abra la puerta. Make it plural. You guys open the door. Abran la puerta. Don't open the windows. No abran las ventanas. Ventanas. I typically make spelling mistakes. No abran las ventanas. Again, these forms are coming from the yo form in the present indicative. Abro, since it is an IR verb, we're adding a or an to make it plural. No abran las ventanas. Remember, these are just for polite commands in the usted or ustedes form. How about another irregular like hacer, right? And I wanted to tell someone, do the homework, do your homework. I could say, haga la tarea. Haga la tarea. It comes from yo form of the present indicative. Hago, it's an ER verb, so I'm adding haga. If I wanted to tell more than one person, hagan, right? Hagan la tarea, okay? Or don't make so much noise. No hagan tanto ruido. No hagan tanto ruido. Okay. Let's take a look at a stem changing verb like volver. Volver, to return. Volver. I could say come back tomorrow. Vuelva. Vuelva. And sometimes you can insert the pronoun, the formal pronoun. Vuelva mañana. Vuelva mañana. Okay. Or you want to make a negative command. No vuelvan hasta las 6. Don't come back until 6. Again, these forms are coming from the yo form, vuelvo, and adding the opposite vowel endings. Okay? Vuelva, vuelvan. Okay? One final example with another stem changing verb, irregular stem. Traer. If I wanted to tell someone who's at the store or went out on an errand, bring some milk, please, I could say, again, I'm going to start with the yo form, traigo, make it a command by saying, traiga leche, por favor. You can make it extra formal by adding, which is very common, por favor. Traiga leche, por favor. Traiga leche, right? Or I could make it negative and plural. No traigan ese perro a casa. Don't even think about bringing that dog home. Don't bring that dog home. No traigan ese perro a casa. So again, we start with the yo form of the present indicative. Okay, start with the yo form of the present indicative, whatever the verb might be. Right? And then we replace that O with the opposite vowel endings, making it plural, for example, singular. Okay? And that's how we get those polite usted or ustedes commands. Okay, well, I hope that presentation on the forms of the polite or formal commands in Spanish, the usted and ustedes forms, has been helpful and beneficial for you. As always, I look forward to your questions, comments, suggestions on this video, so please do take a moment out of your time and leave me a comment here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Professor Jason Spanish video lesson. Hasta pronto. Ciao.